Hi, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast, and we've got a lot to talk about. The Director of National Intelligence in the United States, James Clapper, has just stated that the plot against the Saudi ambassador that took place a couple months back shows that some Iranian officials, probably including Supreme Leader Ayatollah, this is Ali Khamenei, have changed their calculus and are now more willing to conduct an attack in the United States in response to real or perceived U.S. actions that threaten their regime. They're also concerned about Iranians plotting against U.S. or allied interests overseas. This comes on the heels of all the news that's come out this week on the situation that Iran continues and could have a nuclear weapon within a year. They continue to develop. Jordan, in Washington right now, despite all the politics that are going on, this issue is taking on very much a new significance.
I mean, this was the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, going to the Senate Intelligence Committee saying publicly that they are worried and concerned and have the intelligence that Iran is planning attacks in the United States against Americans and against American interests overseas and our allies. Of course, this all comes from what we know was Iranian agents who were arrested in a plot to blow up the Saudi embassy here in Washington, D.C., and the Israeli embassy, as well as assassinate the Saudi ambassador in New York. Their Iranian agents are here, and now we have the Director of National Intelligence telling the Senate and saying to the public, we are worried that they will try to carry out attacks on Americans, on American soil.
How serious do you think Iran is? What action do you think should be taken? And how do you view the U.S. response to the Iranian regime? You heard what John Bolton said. We've been talking about this and talking about it. When are we going to actually get something done here? Jordan, the seriousness of this can't be understated because we're hearing from experts around the world that there could be economic consequences here. But there's no doubt that Iran is on its way and getting very close to having that nuclear weapon.
That's right, and the Vice Prime Minister of Israel, Moshe Yaalon, who's also in our DVD, The Export, he said the Iranian regime will be several times more dangerous if it has a nuclear device in its hands, one thing that it could bring into the United States. It's not for nothing that it's establishing bases for itself in Latin America. We know about that in places like Venezuela and creating links with drug dealers on the U.S.-Mexican border. It's happening in order to smuggle a nuclear ordinance into the United States for the carrying out of a terror attack, that this is not just about Israel, this is about U.S. safety and security. Now we hear that from our Director of National Intelligence that Iranian agents look like they are planning attacks on Americans in the United States.
All right, we've got to stop Iran, folks, and I need your help. We're going directly to the United Nations. We're going directly to the president, going to Senate leadership as well. Here's the number. Go with me and fight. We've got to stop Iran. Sign the petition. 1-877-989-2255. That's 1-877-989-2255 or ACLJ.org. But, folks, we've got to take direct action on this. We've got Pastor Youssef Nardakani facing a death sentence. We've got to fight back on all these issues with Iran. 877-989-2255 or ACLJ.org.